Fstoppers.com has teamed up with Mike Kelly one final time to produce Where Art Meets Architecture 3. In this tutorial, we cover everything you need to know about the business of architectural photography, as well as the tips and tricks necessary to photograph hotels and resorts. You're watching the behind-the-scenes series on the creation of this tutorial, and if you'd like to learn more about the full product, head over to fstoppers.com/store. Being that this tutorial was all about photographing hotels and resorts, we decided to shoot an amazing resort in Hawaii. What are these? These are like
kukui nuts.
Kukui nuts?
Yeah.
So here's the story with this resort. David, he started calling around to different hotels on all the different islands in Hawaii and said, hey, we're doing this tutorial with Mike Kelly. Would you be willing to let us stay at your resort and photograph it? This is Hans, and he's the one who's hooked us up at this incredible resort. And I just learned that not only are you an F-Stoppers reader, you have all the camera gear and you do all the stuff, but you purchased Mike Kelly's tutorial. How in the world did David get in contact with you?
He called our marketing director, who works in the office right next to me. She came over and talked to me about it, and I immediately said, whoa, wait a minute. We can't let this get away from us. So I kind of took over, and yeah, it's just kind of grown from there.
That's so awesome. Well, we really appreciate it, man. This is like definitely the highlight of our trip so far.
This breakfast is pretty great. We have this massive buffet. The only problem I can foresee are the birds. They're about to come and get your food.
So today is the first day of shooting here at this resort. Really the first day of shooting for this entire tutorial. And we're going to be starting simple. We're going to be shooting just hotel rooms. So Mike is actually in the hotel room right now working through it. He's getting the shots. We're just packing up our gear. And then we will meet him about an hour, hour and a half after he's already been working for a while. And we should be able to burn through these shots quickly. At least that is the hope. So I think this is the room that Mike's currently shooting. You might be wondering how I know. Just have a hunch. How's it going?
We're doing really good. We're finishing up this first shot. I'd say we got it all staged. We're maybe halfway through shooting it. We should be done in like 10 minutes or so.
Perfect.
And I'll have you guys come in and mess it all up.
So, have you used a bidet before?
I don't know if
Have you've used one?
Hell yeah.
Okay, I want you to show me how you use this control panel.
Well, first of all, there's a heated seat. So you sit on it.
Yeah.
And it's warm. So you don't
It's
get,
heating right now?
It's heating right now.
Yeah.
You don't get the shock of a cold seat. You push the rear cleansing button.
What happens if I just push this right now?
Did the bidet get you or something?
No, I was
Did it get you though? You're good, right?
I don't think it did.
No, you're good. You're good.
After putting the hotel room back together, it was finally time to start shooting. First lesson. Are you ready to roll, Mike?
I was born ready.
Let's do this.
So for the first shot of this hotel and commercial architectural photography tutorial, we're going to be starting with what appears to be the most simple room, the basic hotel with a view. Now, while on the surface, shooting a room like this seems really simple, what I'm going to show you is more complicated than anything I've ever taught before in terms of lighting, compositing, Photoshop, and staging. Now, for the other tutorials that you may have seen or purchased, I started off simple and we built to more complicated shots. But for this one, if you're buying this tutorial, I assume you know what you're doing, and we're going to jump right into the complicated stuff.
This seemed like a good idea until we realized just how complicated photographing this room would be.
First thing we've got to work on is staging the bed. Once I move it, and then I use these A-clamps, and they're just going to fall over if I don't do anything. So all I'm going to do is going to take a little piece of gaff tape. Now obviously if you look behind me, you can see some light coming through and causing this blue color cast on the floor. Hide flashes in this room, we're going to have to light one in this corner at higher power, and I'm going to put one maybe halfway back in the room at lower power. So I've set up two of my B1s firing into the wall, again to create some direction this way. The color temperature is vastly different between the flash and the interior. I'm going to gel my light. I can't use this bright white flash because it's going to compete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add light using this ProPhoto B1 in a beauty dish. Top of the table, for example, there's some great wood texture in it. I love the texture on the right-hand side, looks great. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So the last thing I do before I open these windows up is I'm gonna bracket for the interior only with all of these lights on. These files, but it's good to have every combination. Now that we have everything we need for the bedroom, it's time to open up those doors and take care of the rest of the view.
Mike warned us. He said that this is going to take all day to get like 2 shots, and we were like, "Oh, come on, this won't take that long." And here it is, 2:30. You started what, at 9?
Yeah.
But we were only halfway done.
So the first thing we're going to do to fix this old ugly table is we're going to cover it. We've got a tablecloth. I'm going to go get that. We'll put it over here, and we'll put the room service on top of the tablecloth. Oh, fuck! Son of a bitch! God damn it!
You're gonna have to do that one again.
Ready? I'm gonna just kind of set a scene here, make it look realistic. White blue halo around this whole window. Exposure for this interior. And the way I'm gonna do that, I have a nice dark, cleanly defined edge that I need, but there's no what I'm gonna do is grab my B1 with the beauty dish and fire the flash at the wall, which will in turn, just like I light painted inside, I'm gonna light paint that table. I'm just gonna do one pop. I think it's all we need. It's so far from the front. I'm gonna bracket from, again, what the camera thinks is the proper exposure, minus 4 or 5 stops in one direction because we got such a crazy dynamic range. After that, I'm gonna use a color checker card, which is gonna give me a point of reference to make sure I can get perfect color when I put this all together.
This was the first lesson for this like hotel and commercial architecture tutorial. I didn't understand how complicated this was going to be, and so I told Mike, like, just get the shot and then we'll come in and film it.
You look a little worn out.
2 hours later, I got the shot, and then 4 hours later, I
Yeah, we have been filming for hours, and I was just making the argument that one, maybe this shouldn't be the first lesson of the entire tutorial because this is the most complex thing we've ever done with Mike. But then the other thing I was saying is, this lesson alone is worth $300 if you shoot hotels because, oh my God, like just like how many steps you did to get every piece looking good is insanity.
In the end, Mike was able to produce an incredible looking shot, and if you buy the full tutorial, you're going to get all of the images that he took, and you'll be able to follow along with him in Photoshop to recreate this image yourself. That night, we headed outside to get an exterior shot of the entire hotel.
Mike wanted to shoot a little bit further away and have the sky in the background of this shot, and I told Mike I thought that we should have the mountain in the background of the shot, and so he's double checking to make sure that I'm right. Let's go see if we can get Mike to admit that I was right and he was wrong. So, where do you think the shot is?
I think, I thought this was pretty nice.
I just feel like you can't see it. So, I just told Mike, hey, I think you should shoot right out here. And he's tried like 10 different places. And now he's loving it. Let's see if he will admit that I know what I'm talking about. Just wanted to see how you like that angle.
So what's that?
How'd you like that angle?
I couldn't hear you, sorry.
The angle? Are we gonna shoot there?
Oh, the angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Are we gonna shoot there?
Yeah, we're gonna put the camera there.
We are.
Yeah.
We're not gonna put it like a mile that way where you wanted to. We're gonna put it where I wanted to right here. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
but I'm gonna pretend that it was on me on the video.
That's fine. That's what behind the scenes is for. So the idea for this is that you're gonna stand over here with a walkie-talkie,
yep,
and you're gonna yell at Adam.
Yeah, I'm gonna scream, and it's gonna carry across the water
with the walkie-talkie.
We're gonna use smoke signals,
and then he's gonna light the building. How? Because you can't strobe.
Yeah.
The strobe will reach.
Yeah.
The ProPhoto remote will reach across 2 miles of ocean.
Yes. Because I'm not gonna use the trigger. I'm gonna have a 2-second exposure.
Oh, no,
and I'm gonna say, breaker, open the flash. And I'll open the shutter and he'll do the flash. And
no,
copy that over. And by the time we hang up, the flash will have gone off, the shutter will set, will be good.
We shouldn't be revealing all of these secrets in the behind the scenes. Even I didn't know that was what was going to happen.
Gosh, you need the drone right here, man. This is like the hero shot.
All right, so we are out here on the beach, my toes in the sand. We are set up for a twilight. Now this is gonna be a rather ambitious shot. I'm about a good half mile, 3/4 of a mile away from the hotel. The reason we're so far away is that I want to get some of that shoreline. I want to place this hotel in this amazing environment. As you can see, we have this huge mountain right behind the hotel. We have this really cool shoreline, and we have quintessential Hawaiian palm trees, and I want to capture all of that. I'm going to have Adam, my assistant, who is about half a mile away, on a walkie-talkie. I've got him using a Profoto B1. I'm going to communicate to him, and we're going to add some flash pops to this building and light it up and make it look really pretty. Now, you may be wondering, how in the world am I going to trigger flash across 2 miles, a mile, however far away we are, and get it to fire consistently? And the answer is, I'm going to stop down a little bit, and I'm going to try to get a 2, 3, 4 second exposure. I'm going to tell him on the walkie-talkie, the shutter is opening now. He'll have 2 seconds to manually pop the flash and light up that building.
Thinking where you want me to be, let's give it a shot.
All right, aim it towards the very top of the building. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And we have flash. Look at that. That looks beautiful. I want you to go away from the arrowhead down to that first row of windows on the shaft of the building. God almighty.
All right, we just finished up shooting.
Almost finished.
Almost finished. And have you had the time of your life today?
No.
Stay tuned for next week's episode when Mike continues to photograph this incredible resort and I accidentally bump him in his broken rib.
It's like this stabbing pain right here.
What if I punch you right there?
That would be terrible. Go to the hospital. That would be fun.
And as always, to learn more about the full tutorial, head over to fstoppers.com/store.